Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Life has been so busy that I'm just now finishing up all of my Easter cards. I knew I wouldn't have time to do a full Easter 6x6 video, so instead I decided to finish off the paper from the Sunny Studio Spring Fling collection. I recently used this collection with Jaded Blossom's Easter Gnome release, and the cards turned out just adorable. I love this paper, so I didn't want it to go to waste. Along with the pattern paper, I'll also be using some leftover Doodlebug ephemera. This is from their Hippity Hoppity collection that was released, I believe, last year. I have both the odds and ends and the Chit Chat, and this is just what's left over from my 6x6 video from last year. At the time I recorded this video, there were about 5 or 6 days until Easter, so I didn't have a lot of time to get my Easter cards done. I decided to do some simple cards, really wanted to feature those adorable Doodlebug images. The cards will be going to the residents at a local retirement home, and the Doodlebug images always make them smile. With the time crunch, I forgot to show how much of the Sunny Studio paper collection I still had left over. I believe there were 8 full sheets and then quite a few scraps. For the first card design, I'm using a sketch from MFT. This is number 588. I thought this would be the perfect sketch to finish off those full sheets of pattern paper. And by cutting them in the diagonal, I could feature 2 different pattern papers on one card. The Spring Fling collection by Sunny Studio is bright and cheerful, and I think the colors work well with Doodlebug's Hippity Hoppity collection. If you need some quick cards and you don't want to do any coloring, using ephemera is a lifesaver. Doodlebug always includes a ton of ephemera in their packs. Even after doing a full 6x6 video using the 2 sets of ephemera, you saw I still have a lot left over. For the sentiment on this set of cards, I'm using a set from Jaded Blossom. This is their Blessed Easter set. It has the sentiment and also the coordinating outline dies. I stamped it using some Catherine Pooler ink, and I cut out a second outline in that dark purple color and did a drop shadow just for some extra interest. I used some foam dimension on the back of the ephemera piece and also the sentiment. One nice thing about taking the cards to the retirement home, they don't go through the mail, so I can add as much dimension as I want. To finish off the card, I used some bling from my stash, really trying to finish off some products that have been hanging out in my craft room for years. I forgot to mention, between the 2 pattern paper pieces, I did add a Love from Lizi peel-off in the pinstripe style. I used the pink holographic and also the purple holographic colors. Using this card design, I was able to make a total of 10 cards. Every single card is different, and I really tried to select the ephemera that had one of the critters. With limited time, I did keep the cards fairly simple. And before I take the cards to the retirement home, I will add a handwritten message inside each one. For card design number 2, I'm focusing on all these leftover 2-inch strips of pattern paper. I cut them down so they're 2 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm layering them on some white shimmer cardstock and then again on some blue cardstock. Then I'll add my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. Now for some reason, the card that I recorded, I forgot to add my Love from Lizi peel-off between those 2 pattern paper pieces, but all of the other cards, I did add it. Fortunately, it's not really noticeable since I'm putting so many different ephemera pieces. So the sentiment is one of the ephemera pieces. I have this sweet little bunny hugging a carrot, a bag of carrots, and also the sunshine. I did pop all of those up using some foam dimension. Then to finish off the card, I'll add a few pieces of bling, and this is just bling from my stash. So there's my finished card, and this time I made a total of 8 with this design. For a couple of the cards, I did add a stamp sentiment, and this is from Jaded Blossom's Floral Bunny Ears set. For 2 of the cards, the pattern paper strips weren't quite 2 inches, so there's a little gap on the left side of the card. To fill in that gap, I did add a Love from Lizi peel off, and this is the sway design. It has this fun little wavy pattern. I used the largest size in the silver glitter color, and you can see that on this card here. Love from Lizi peel offs are some of my favorite embellishments, and I use them as often as I can. Here's a look at all the leftover pattern paper scraps. I have 5 of those larger pieces and just a couple of small pieces. Using those larger pieces, I trim them all down for this little set of strips. They're 3/4 of an inch wide and 3 3/4 of an inch long. I'm adding liquid adhesive to the back and adhering them on some white shimmer cardstock. And this background cardstock piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. For the top piece, the pink flower design, I have it closer to the left side of the card. Then the purple, I shifted it closer to the right side. And I just continue to alter these left and right. Now I only have 2 of the green pieces, so I wasn't able to continue this pink, purple, green pattern. So instead I'm combining 2 of the pink and then 2 of the purple before continuing on with the green and then repeating the pink. This is another very simple design, and it's perfect for using up those thin strips that are left over. Now I also like to add these strips on the inside of the cards, which I will be doing. I just didn't show that part in the video. So I do end up with just a few extras. I'll put some ATG tape on the back of this piece and layer it on some dark purple cardstock. Then I can add my card front onto a card base. Since all of those pattern paper strips are a tone-on-tone design, I could easily add the ephemera, since the Doodlebug ephemera has that white outline around the image, but I decided to adhere an oval die cut. I used some more of the white shimmer cardstock, so it has that little extra shine. Then I'm pulling out several of the ephemera pieces. I have this sweet little bunny that's holding 2 tiny chicks, the sentiment Happy Easter, and I am popping all of these up using some foam dimension. And this sheet of foam dimension I've had in my craft room for probably a couple years, so it's another thing I'm trying to finish off. Many of the items, like the foam dimension and the bling, they were included in a card kit that I might have used 2 years ago. So it's really good to finish those off. Also adding a few of the flower die cut pieces. Put 2 in the upper left hand corner and 1 to the right of this sweet little bunny. Then I'll add some more bling, and this is a really pretty purple iridescent color. And there is my finished card. For this card design, I was only able to make 1 since I'm pretty much out of pattern paper. Here are all the leftover pattern paper scraps. And I know I could probably get at least 1 more card, but I'm calling it finished at this point. I will add all of those scraps into my scrap box of the year, and next year I will attempt to make a few more cards. In my previous video using Sunny Studio Spring Fling collection, I made 14 cards. Now with this video, I made an additional 19 cards, so a grand total of 33 cards using Sunny Studio's Spring Fling 6x6 paper pad. I'll include a handwritten message inside each of the cards and take these to a local retirement home. If you are interested in any of the products I use in this video, I do have links provided in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Easter.